What's up, y'all? It's Motion Mixtape, and
Motion Mixtape,
we back with another banger session.
Absolutely. What? This would be session 10, 11 already?
I think session 11, I believe, right? It's crazy.
It's crazy. We were finally making it out, bro, for real. Honestly, being consistent with the content, being able to get these sessions done for you guys is definitely one of our focus for this year.
Yeah, for sure.
So, we're glad to be back out over here and, in the studio still. Trying to add a little more personality, little, but definitely trying to make sure we get this content out for you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bro, it's been a good week, bro. How you been?
I've been good, bro. It's also been a good week. I've been just chilling back. There's been a lot going on around just society in general. A lot going on.
Yeah, everybody, especially in college now that everybody's going back to school. Everybody's talking about going back to for semester 2.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that's a big thing that people were worried about. People were excited for, and everybody that that feeling when you're getting ready to go back to school. It's like some people they've been bored from their break, so they're ready to go back, and then you have, like, for example, me, where I was like trying to get back on that adjustment, and it was like, dang, like I'm not trying to go.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like when especially in college, when you were in high school doing all this other stuff, like the breaks were kind of short.
Yeah.
So you would go back pretty quick, and didn't really feel like an adjustment. Mm-hmm. But now it's like it took us like almost a month and a half to go back.
Yeah.
So it's been some crazy. It's almost I want to say more than
a lot happened in a month. So it definitely was like one of those things too, where spending that time away from being on campus, away from in the class, it was definitely well needed. It's like you go for so long, and then, all right, dang, you got this big break. So it was definitely well needed.
Yeah, it was definitely a good break. It's just a little weird, especially when it comes to adjusting. The fact that you're away for so long. I feel like the longer you stay away from school, it's like the harder it is to pick it back up.
Exactly.
So you're like consistent with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely it's been a good week.
Mm-hmm.
Just a chill little week. Nothing crazy has happened. We did get a drop on music though, from Eladio Carrion. So, for those, we mentioned him in that episode with Alex. For those people that don't know him, he's a Puerto Rican trap musician.
Yeah.
He's a rapper. He got a good amount of bangers, a lot of great albums, and he just released an album dedicated to his mom this weekend. So for sure, give it a listen. He does have a lot of bangers. It definitely more. I think that I would say it's not necessarily as focused on the trap on this album, but there's definitely some good ass bangers when it comes to trap. But there's a lot of good songs too, like for songs for your girl, songs for you want to dedicate to your mom, to a family member, someone you love. There's definitely songs for that. Yeah. And then if you want to get a little bit crazy, maybe flex or something, that song, he got it all.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
do that listen for sure.
I'm telling you, this guy doesn't miss when it comes to an album. He's always been doing good, and it's good to see that that your favorite artist does come up.
Yeah,
especially when you start listening to someone from the beginning and seeing them come up, and
that's crazy.
Doing it too, and in a short amount of time. I mean, I think his first album came out in like 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So no, obviously the process has been there.
Yeah.
So it's good to see it, bro. But
yeah, for sure, that's crazy too, because I was just talking to my homie. And we were having a conversation in the car about, like, I don't want to say, Opium, but that's their label, like Cardi and Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely Island. We were talking about that, and how my friend, he was really, like, pissed at the fact that some of them are blowing up for, like, the wrong reasons, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, you have the memes that come out, like, now you got with Ken Carson and his song Jennifer's Body. That meme is going all over TikTok, where people are talking about, oh, this is 98% accurate, Jennifer's Body, and they try to recreate the beat, and it's goofy, it's stupid. And then even with Cardi, I mean, like in Destroy Lonely, you have this dark persona that everyone's like, oh, I'm Opium, I dress Opium and shit like that now. So he was mad because he's like, I just wish people would gatekeep him. Like, he's not mad about their success, but, like, he wished people would gatekeep him. And it kind of made me think a little bit, because I'm like, when I look at the artists that I listen to, I feel like when they do have that success, no matter how they get it, that's a big W. Like, that's a good thing to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see it as I gotta gatekeep a certain artist. I feel like,
when an artist that I've been listening to since the beginning, since before they blow up, and they blow up, like, and they start going viral and crazy. And I'm like one of those people that, like, started to listen to them before that, I look and feel like, you know, there's like that level where like, bro, I've been there for the beginning. Like, I'm an OG. What you know about this shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that I want to gatekeep them, but it's like when they actually ask me about it. You know, when they're like these new fans. Not that it's bad, obviously. I think everybody should be able to enjoy the music that they like, whether you just started listening to an artist or you've been there since the beginning for them. I think it's always good to, you know, for artists to have that new, you know, audience, and that's what they're trying to do. So, you know, that's the hustle. But, you know, for the fans though, it's definitely it has that superiority of knowing that you were there since the beginning. It definitely gives you like that, you know, like you might be part of the trend right now, but I'm an OG. Like, I know shit that you don't.
That's definitely true. It, like, I feel like it's just trying to think on it. Like, I don't know. Would there be an artist that you like that has gone viral now that you wish you could have gatekeeped because you were there from the beginning, and like now his fan base is like corny, or you know, you have the new fans come in and it's like, oh shit, they ruined it. With
the artist, I don't know. I feel like definitely with Bad Bunny. I think, especially because, you know, when he came out, when he started, when, you know, 2016, he was doing all this trap, and now everybody's just want him to do like reggaeton and more music for like the girls type shit, which is cool. Like, you know, last year, like, or 2022, he did that, you know, with Umbrano Sentido, and he was just making music for, you know, for the club, for the party, for I don't want to say for the girls, because I think that, you know, music is for everybody, but, you know, it was definitely more open to other different audiences. But like when I was starting to listen to Bad Bunny in 2016, like, I was hearing some crazy shit, you know, talking about selling drugs and all this other stuff, which I know is not really who he was, but it's like that music is 100%, you know, you put it next to his new stuff, it's definitely like totally different. But which is why I'm really enjoyed like the new album, which was kind of more like towards the audience from like the 2016, 2017 era of Bad Bunny.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, definitely. I guess when you get to talking about that, you mentioned it earlier, you have this sense of superiority against the new fans, because you have people come in. You know, I guess, like, I mean, I could say that with Cardi too for me, but at the same time, I don't really consider myself like a diehard Cardi fan. Like, as much as I used to be, at least I used to definitely, like, you know, he would always be up there in my Wrapped for the Spotify Wrapped every year. So and it's definitely gone downhill. But somebody I could certainly say that with now is probably Yeet, because I was just talking to my friend about.
You know what's so crazy? They're talking about Yeet. I think I just saw I saw a TikTok the other day or 2 days ago, and it was like Yeet walking in this, and then Cardi kind of like walking behind him or something. It was like, I don't know if it was an event or something, or like an award show. I don't know what it was exactly. But it was so funny because I never seen like G like in person. And the fact when I looked at him, I'm like, bro, ain't no way this is fucking Yeet. I'm like, ain't no way, like, this guy looks like a fucking beater.
Bro, when you look at Yeet, like, when you look at Yeet and you're like, there's no way this is the guy that's saying all this in his music.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, I was looking at him, I'm like, because I'm like, you know, I listen to like 2 or 3 songs from Yeet, but I'm not like a fan. I wouldn't consider like myself even like an active listener of Yeet. But I obviously, you know, couple songs from him, some of his features, obviously the one with Drake. Yeah. But, you know, obviously from his style that I've seen, I'm like, ain't no way this is fucking him, bro.
Yeah. No, but for real though, and I was talking to my homie about that, because I was like, there was a lot of rant on Twitter when the feature with Drake dropped, and everyone's like, oh, I'm finally gonna give Yeet his props, like he did his shit, and it's like, that song, it's great, it's phenomenal, like it was a fire song, you know, but it took that song with Drake for y'all to figure out that Yeet was like actually kind of fire, bruh. So like, I guess I could see the superiority like thing. It's like, all right, I've been listening to Yeet since fucking like 2020, 2019.
No, yeah, I feel you. No,
so I feel like, you. I can't even sit here and be like,
no, yeah. I mean, with Yeet, I definitely think that I was able to give him more of a try after Drake. But I don't think I'm like an active listener, which I mean, it's not that I'm hating on him. I'm just saying that's just not necessarily my style. But it was definitely funny to see him actually walk. And like, I'm like, bro, ain't no way, because he just looked like a random ass dude, bro. He doesn't look like a rapper. I was so confused. Bro. I'm like, especially not a rapper that makes the kind of music he does, you know.
That was the funny thing of going and seeing him in concert, because I was like, there's no way this, like, I mean, obviously I knew what he looked like before I went to his concert, but still
like, ain't no way this is him, bro.
Like,
no, that's crazy. Has that happened to you with any other artist though? Like, I feel like most artists, especially after they go viral or they get a good amount of recognition, they start to look like what they're supposed to look like. But we did that. I think that's like what I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know another artist really that I'd be like that. The Yeet is definitely probably the prime example for that right now because people are clowning him all the time based on his looks and all that shit. So
and especially because I don't know if you've seen, especially when when I Don't Give a Fuck came out, and they were like doing, I don't know if you saw the cartoon where it's like rapping and then there's like Drake in the back acting all sassy and shit. Yeah. That little cartoon, like the way they made him look in the cartoon, I was like, he looked like what G would look like, but then I feel like the actual video, that was so surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean, is that, I mean, his I don't want to say his style, but like the way he looks too over the years has definitely changed too. Like, and even if you go back and look at his high school yearbook and shit, everyone's like, "There's no way this is Yeet, bro. Like, this is some random ass kid."
That's crazy, bro. But, yeah, that's funny. No, but kind of going back to Eladio, the way I see him is like he doesn't miss an album. Mm-hmm. What do you think? It's an artist that doesn't miss in an album. Like,
I mean, call me like I always say, call me a glazer for this because I don't care, but for sure, like I could say Drake is one of them. Yeah. At least for me personally. Oh shit. But I just definitely I don't want to say that he doesn't have any misses, but there hasn't really been a song from him that I'm just like I can't listen to this like this. And maybe that's just because he's one of my favorite artists and maybe I'm biased to that, but definitely him. And we were mentioning this before too. I feel like you could even say somebody like Brent or like Frank Ocean. Like I don't feel like they miss, bro.
Well, how's Frank Ocean gonna miss with 2 albums? Bro?
Yeah, that's true. But we could say like Brent though. Like, yeah,
Brent definitely doesn't miss.
I've been heavily getting into more Brent too.
I definitely think, obviously, The Weeknd. I would say The Weeknd.
Yeah, Weeknd for sure.
Album. The Weeknd every single time, he puts out an album, it's a banger. It's a classic. And even going back to his old projects, I think like since the beginning, he has never put out any bad music.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's crazy too because I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of artists that you can really say that they don't have bad songs. Because even with Drake or even myself with Bad Bunny, like maybe they don't have bad projects like as albums, but then you can say that they will have some bad songs.
Yeah, and I think there's not an artist that you could say has a flawless discography. I don't think, and even if it's your favorite artist, like I'm sitting here saying that like they don't miss, but realistically, your favorite artist is gonna have 1 or 2 or maybe a couple of misses and even a missed project. So that's normal, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I think like honestly, the only person that I can say that has no misses or close to no misses for me, it's The Weeknd. Mm-hmm. Just because everything that he does is he's pretty high.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why he's the biggest artist in the world right now too. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and then call me, like I said, like you say, call me a glazer, but The Weeknd does. Like at least for me, I've never seen a flaw for him. Yeah. No, not a bad song. Maybe like obviously some songs, because even on whether you're talking about beat or lyrics, some songs are definitely like the lyrics are kind of more crazy. Maybe you might not like that kind of lyrics, but the beat does make up for it. Yeah. Or vice versa. Maybe you like the lyrics are not great, but they're just chilling. But exactly. You get really good lyrics, but the beat isn't crazy. But The Weeknd, I feel like it's one of those artists that you can definitely find quality.
Yeah, for sure.
Any song he drops. So for sure, and that's the only one I would say for now. And then, but yeah, it's crazy. It's good to see that these artists are blowing up.
Yeah, definitely. Sure. And I mean, like you said, we haven't had too much going on with music recently, but I mean, we still
and then obviously it was cool that we also got the Coachella lineup this week.
That's gonna be fire. Bro.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised.
At that lineup, that's fire.
I'm surprised with all the headliners because I was never expecting Lana Del Rey to be one, especially for like the biggest music festival ever. Yeah. So shout out to her, but she's actually, obviously the people that listen to her, definitely appreciate it. I think she always put out quality all the time. Yeah. I mean, her products never miss. So, her style is more alternative, and I actually fuck with her. I think, I'm not gonna lie, bro, I'm gonna be controversial, but out of all the 3 headliners, Lana's probably my favorite. Over Tyler.
Dang.
Over Tyler.
But okay, that's not an outlandish take, I feel like, because I mean, Lana is tough, but personally, I haven't listened to too much of her that I could say that she would be like my favorite headliner. No. Definitely is Tyler for me, but still.
out of all the headliners, obviously Doja's cool.
Yeah.
Doja got some hit. I definitely prefer the old Doja. You know, we're talking about like 2020 Doja.
Yeah, for sure.
That's. I think we were talking about that. What was the last episode or a couple episodes ago? Definitely Doja got some bangers. Yeah. Obviously, I'm excited to see that. But you know, out of all of them, I think the one that I listen to the most is definitely Andre.
Yeah, that's fair, bro. Yeah, I mean, she's a great artist.
So yeah, no,
you can't even really knock those three as being headliners, because I mean, like, some people were like, oh, we could have, like, why the fuck is Doja here in this lineup?
Yeah, everybody was just calling on Doja. Yeah, bro. Like,
I mean, like,
she's a good performer. Yeah. Like, if you look throughout, you know, her history, obviously in recent years, she's definitely, her style definitely changed. You can get like a 360 on it, because she can't, not necessarily that she went crazy, but her style went a little more darker than what she, you know, like we were talking like 2020 Doja that was like super girly. Now it's like a little more crazy.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
But I mean, she still puts out quality music, and you know, it's gonna be cool. Good to see her. Good to see all of them in Coachella. What I was excited to see though, it was definitely, you know, I think Karen Carson was in the lineup, and then the Struggle was in the lineup. So that's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be fun.
I was never expecting that to be kind of like the Coachella type.
Saying,
but you know, definitely gonna be cool to see that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that just also goes back to the point of the artist blowing up like that, because if you would have looked. And maybe for Lone, but I don't even want to say for him, but he was way bigger than what King Carson was if you go back and look, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Definitely. And so I definitely knew
it's crazy to see
them before I knew King Carson.
Yeah, it's crazy to see them in the position that they are now, like being at Coachella, especially King Carson, because King Carson, I mean, even if you go back 3-4 years ago, he was still under 1 million monthly listeners, and so now he's like taking over. And it's crazy.
Yeah, so another thing that I saw is another artist that's obviously headlining was Peso Pluma, which I mean, it's insane, because literally 2 years ago nobody fucking knew what the fuck that was. Literally beginning of 2023, nobody knew who Peso Pluma was. And all of a sudden now he's almost not necessarily a headliner, but right there.
Yeah, exactly.
In Coachella, so that's gonna be fun to see. Definitely seeing you know, a Mexican being able to be on the biggest stage of the world, but you know, in the biggest festival. Yeah, so it's gonna be fire to see all that. Definitely excited for that festival, especially because I've never been to a festival. So we'll see how Coachella
fire, bro.
You know, Coachella blog, is that what we're gonna have to do?
Bro, they're definitely an experience. And Coachella, like, that's one of the bigger ones. So that's definitely gonna be dope, bro.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what's up this year with Coachella. So but yeah, bro, you know, going back to school, bro, it's so crazy to me. Like, you know, we're in our second semester of college now, but like going back to, you know, our high school days, bro. How was that for you, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I just saw a TikTok of people saying, it was a TikTok, and someone was like, oh, you think COVID wasn't that long ago? And then they posted another picture, and it's COVID being in the school textbooks now.
Shit.
And they're like, we made history. And then everyone in the comments were like, yeah, during COVID, I was a freshman in high school, and now I'm a freshman in college.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see that timeline. It's like, going back to when I was a freshman in high school, it was so much difference than how it is now.
No, I mean, I think for us, the whole college, not the college experience, the whole high school experience was so different, because we had to go through COVID.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, overall, I think it was definitely, high school was a fun experience overall. I mean, going back to it, I remember the first day of school, you know, we had to, I think everybody throughout high school, the first day of school, the night before, you couldn't go to bed.
Exactly. You had to fit laid out on the bed.
Next to you, bro.
Yes, right.
You were
sleeping
like,
next to the
you were trying to go to bed early, you know, because you were not trying to be like tired or anything, but you couldn't, like, you could just stay, like, at least for myself, I was always like up, like I was like just laying on my bed, just like trying to go to bed, but I was just making up all the scenarios in my head.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have the hardest fit out there. Like,
exactly.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, personally though, I feel like I went into high school a lot more timid and scared, because my middle school teachers were the same ones that were like, oh, like, high school is gonna be way different than middle school. Like, a bunch of y'all aren't gonna be able to make it through high school.
Yeah,
but the way that
I was fucking headed that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, like, everybody was just making high school out to be this, like, terrible place almost.
I know. I feel like all the teachers were like, if you think not turning in your homework, they're gonna let that shit slide, bro. And they were all fucking lying, bro.
Yeah, literally, they were all lying, because high school was, in many cases, a lot more chill than middle school.
Dress code, everything, bro.
Yeah,
it was crazy. And another thing, I'm not trying to be weird on this, but in middle school, like you had to go dressed up a certain way. You couldn't have like ripped pants or anything.
Yeah.
All this and that. And then when you went to high school, you started seeing all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah.
No, bro. That like it was a change. I mean, definitely, I could say that in today's society, maybe high school is probably. I mean, they have a whole much like different experience than we did growing up,
definitely.
probably without the fact of COVID. So, but at least with our experience, I feel like it was a good one for the circumstances we were into.
Yeah.
I mean, my freshman year was hella fun.
Yeah,
and then like it getting cut short though, it was like damn, man, because it was like we were at like a pretty good point in our freshman year, and then it like everything just shut down.
Yeah, it was definitely building up. Freshman year was definitely building up for me. I remember, obviously, I went shy, and then another thing for me is that when I went to high school, I went to a high school where none of my friends from middle school went. Only one person maybe, but that's about it. So I was going to high school pretty much like blinded. Like no one in there knew about me. No one there knew me. Like I went in there with no friends. Obviously, most people go with like at least 2, 3 of their friends to the high school that they go to. But I was like that's going blinded.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a different experience for me. Another thing too, like my high school didn't have sports. So everything like sports related was I needed to go to like another high school to experience it, which was my son's school, which I'm not necessarily like mad about because it definitely opened the doors to more people because I was like meeting the people from my high school, and then meeting the people from other high schools as well.
No, I feel you.
So it was definitely different, but yeah, it was cool. And then another thing too, like my high school, you could only go there as a freshman. So if you were not there by a freshman year, like by sophomore year, like everybody knew each other.
Yeah.
Another thing, like there was never like a new there's no new kid in school type shit, like because everybody just like you could only go there as a freshman. So the experience was different.
Yeah, because everybody, it was like by the time you get to a senior, everybody pretty much
knew each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, almost, because not gonna lie, bro. When I was at graduation, like everything, it was so funny because I was like, "What the fuck are these people?" Like in my graduating class wasn't that big. Like really, my graduating class was like what 400 people at most.
Yeah.
And bro, it was like that ass. I was like, what the fuck are these people? Like, or some people I was like, you're a fucking senior? Like that I literally see you all around. I thought you were like a fucking junior or something.
That's crazy. You're a senior. That's how it be though, yeah. For me at least, my high school experience obviously was a little different too, because I mean, going into my freshman year, I had knew a bunch of my friends from middle school.
Yeah.
And like I had to switch elementary schools, so I didn't go to that same elementary school as the same middle school as a bunch of my friends from elementary school went to. So that was like my new period, which I'm glad that I had that then, because I came in as this like nerdy little shy ass kid, and then I met my friends and I met certain people, and that was dope to bring that up to high school. Even going into my freshman year, I was still a cornball, bro. Like it was bad.
I even till this day, bro. I'm a cornball, bro.
Like it was bad though. Like high school was different, bro, especially my freshman year. So I feel like for me, at least, like as much as the freshman year for me was fun, I definitely had a lot of learning lessons during that year. So then when COVID hit, it gave me a lot of time to self-reflect, I feel like, which, I mean, COVID was different for everybody. Some people enjoyed the break. Some people hated being online, But for me personally, I didn't really mind it that much. And I got to know a lot more about myself. And it was a really big mature period for me that sophomore year, because the whole sophomore year I was online. Yeah. So then when I went back to my junior year, it was a different environment too. And it kind of let me, like, I don't know, I'm grateful that I did have that little period to just like get right,
I feel you.
Because going into my junior year, it was like, all right, I can.
Yeah, that was definitely too. I mean, for me, when I went to, I was always like a nerd too, not gonna lie, especially in middle school. I was a nerd. I was always like in the accelerated classes, and I was always like hanging out with the nerds and shit, which is cool. Like I don't give a fuck. Sure. That's who I fucking am. Like,
I'm a nerd.
All my closest friends are nerds. I don't give a fuck. Like
I can't diss nerds.
Like I'm a fucking nerd too, bro. Like you watch a podcast and you've seen all the episodes, like and then you know me personally, like I love my superheroes. I know my nerd shit. Yeah, but I was not like, I was when it comes to like the clique stuff, I was always more into like you could tell I was part of the nerds,
Yeah, for sure.
So going into so like middle school, I wasn't like the crazy, the fastest kid on the class type shit. Like obviously, I play soccer and the stuff, to be athletic, but I wasn't never like the part of the popular group in middle school. You know, if you were to consider, which now it's like all bullshit, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously going into high school, I wasn't expecting, not necessarily that I was expecting to change, but I wasn't expecting too much of a change. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, whatever. We go here, we're gonna go study. We're gonna meet people, see what happens, right?
Yeah.
And freshman year, pretty much, not that I went unnoticed, but I was still like, I wasn't like popular or anything. You know, like I didn't talk to a lot of people. I was just meeting people. I had my friends. I had this and that, but I was just trying to keep it chill. You know, nothing crazy. And then obviously COVID hit, and then going, all sophomore year online, definitely like it was like a change for me.
Yeah.
I feel like high school saw that change.
Yeah.
Especially the people that met me when I was in a freshman year to what it looked like in like senior year. Definitely, they definitely saw that change.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brad. And you mentioned kind of not being popular as much in your freshman year. I feel like definitely from my high school experience, I wasn't really like popular. I feel like I was known, like not that I was not known, but like other people knew who I was, but I wasn't popular. Like I wasn't one of the popular kids, and I'm not mad about that, low key, because I feel like for me, if I would have been one of those popular kids, really popular throughout high school, I feel like that would have been like, they talk about the people that peaked in high school.
Yeah,
and I wasn't trying to be that kid.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't like the popular kid either, but definitely people knew about me. Especially in my high school, where like everybody knows each other. That's the thing too. Like in my high school, like everybody knew each other, so it wasn't like you're popular. You just know, like
everybody just know each other.
Everybody just know each other at that point. They know who you are. Obviously, depending on what you do in high school and what situations you get yourself in, and they'll definitely depend on how much people talk about your type shit or what happens. Obviously, during high school, like I said, some of the people that met me freshman year, the people that saw that grow, they definitely saw like a change. Not necessarily like a bad change. Like I was still a fucking nerd. Like I was still in the nerd classes, if you would say that, which I didn't fucking mind.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was definitely like especially when it comes to parties and shit, like the high school functions that you would see me there and shit. So that's literally how people started to recognize me a little bit more, because I was always part of that group that was like making the parties,
Yeah.
So that not necessarily saying that I was popular, no, because I don't think like being popular is looking just a bullshit term. It's like it's just with you, bro. Like just hang out with everybody. You know what
exactly.
I mean? That was me too. Like, that's the thing with me too. Like in high school, I was never like the type to just hang out with the popular kids or hang out with like the crowd, because a lot of people definitely had like their clique, and they would only hang out with certain people. But I was like, nah, bro. If you're cool and I fuck with you, like I'm gonna hang out with you, or I'm gonna have a conversation with you. That's always how I was.
And see, that's why like I go back to saying like my sophomore year being online, because that gave me a lot of time to mature in that area too. Because going into my junior year, I feel like I was a lot like that. But speaking into my freshman year, or even parts of my sophomore year being online, it felt like, all right, I gotta act a certain way to hang around certain people. Or like, oh, okay, if I talk this way, I'm gonna be, clowned on for this, or if I say this, and it was a lot of me not really being myself. I feel like in certain ways, I was trying to be who like I could be depending on who I was hanging out with. And so going into my sophomore year, I realized how much a lot of that shit fell out between other people too now, because when I started really developing like, all right, this is who I am, like, really figuring out that self-awareness of who I was, I saw other people that I used to like try to fit in with and act a certain way, they started to drift away, and it's like, all right, you start to lose those friends too. And I always see the image where it's like freshman year you have all these people, then sophomore year it comes down to like a group, junior year it's like maybe 4 people, and by your senior year it's like 1 or 2 people, and after high school they're like, all right, it's just you.
That's how it be, especially and that's the thing too, like a lot of these people that they thought they were popular and shit, like they were acting all this and that, like, bro, at the end of the day, after you graduate, like that, nobody cares. And not saying that nobody cares, but it's like, even ourselves, like we was probably like a year since we graduated. At most, not even that. And look, it's already like most of the people that I hang out with, like in high school, like I got my close friends that I still hang out with, and we still go to the functions and do shit like that. But like still, like not everybody that I talk to in high school, I talk to now. And that's how you be. Even if you think you're really close with them, like you dead ass don't matter. Like, everybody's in their own journey after high school.
Exactly. Yeah, everybody kind of you know, everybody has to focus on themselves in a way too, because, you know, we're learning and getting into our adulthood and
Yeah.
after high school life. So everyone has their own priorities and their things too. So it's just a matter of, like, for me, with also going to a different high school in my junior year than I did my senior year. When I came out here, it was more like I don't have to fit in with any group. I don't have to go out there and be friends with just whoever just to say that I'm friends with somebody. I'm gonna just do my own thing, and I'm gonna have my own energy, because that's what's gonna attract people in your circle.
Yeah.
Anyway, is because you're gonna attract people that fuck with your energy and they're gonna be around
Yeah, at
you.
the end of the day, yeah, that's always how I thought about it too. I was like, like my personality is like like I said, I never decided to fit in one clique. Obviously, I don't know. I think that's a question that you would have to ask the homies or something. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think they would consider you? If you ask your homies, you're like, what do
Exactly.
you think they would say? Like, were you a jock? Were you like an area? Like, where would they put you?
They would definitely put me in a
Yeah,
nerd position. Yeah, if I asked my friends, they would say I'm a nerd for sure. But like, if you, I feel like that having the move too, it helped me get closer with some of the people that I was close with out there, in a sense that whoever you want to talk to or make time for, or like keep a friendship with, you'll really be able to keep a friendship with somebody, like, based on that. Like, if you really want to keep the friendship, you will. Like, one of my homies, I knew him since elementary school, right? We used to be super duper close,
yeah,
and then I went online, and we weren't as close for like those 2 years. But then my senior year, moving out here, and even my junior year, we started getting like closer again. And it was
yeah,
like now, even now, sometimes we might go a few months without, you know, saying something to each other, or like checking in. But then it's like, all right, we check in. And I
yeah.
feel like,
That's also some stuff that with some relationships that I have. Like for example, like there's some homies that I can talk for like long ass time, but whenever we hang out or we do talk or whatever, like it's like I was just seeing them yesterday. You know what I mean?
exactly,
And those
yeah,
are some of the best relationships out there too.
exactly. Because you realize that it's not an obligation, and that when you guys do come back to, um, like, reconnect, it's because both of y'all want to keep that friendship going, rather than it being like a one-sided thing too, or like
Yeah,
being like, because, like, you know, how I feel like, at least, is a lot of the friends that I have that are still back home, the ones that I do have are the ones that, like, you know, we, like you said, we might go a couple months without talking, but then it's like, all right, they might want to reach out real quick, or they might be like, hey, I'm coming to town, like, let's make plans, or they make it, you
type
know,
shit.
people will
Yeah,
make an effort to keep whatever friendships they do want to keep, regardless of how busy. I mean,
yeah,
we're back home is a 3 hour time difference from here, so it makes things hard sometimes, in the, at least with certain things. But also, still, it's like, if people want to make time to be your friend, they will. Like,
definitely.
it won't
Big
seem
time. Yeah,
forced. It won't seem like it's an obligation. They'll just make time for it. So
absolutely.
when I got that mindset coming out here, even when I did get into high school, it was like, all right, I don't need to force myself to get in a group with people. I don't need to force myself to, like, just go be friends with somebody just to say that I have friends, because, you know, people are gonna mess with your energy, and if they mess with your energy enough, they want to be around you, and then you'll attract, like, people into your friend groups, into your relationships that
Yeah,
way. I feel like, and that, I'm glad that I came out here with that mindset, because I feel like my senior year was probably one of the best years of high school, definitely by far, for me at least. Because
yeah.
my junior year was definitely like a rough year, at least for me, I can say. I don't know. I feel like
Junior
that
junior
is,
year was definitely like I don't know, like it's just one of those where I was doing great and then I wasn't and then I was doing great again and then I wasn't
yeah,
and then a lot
literally.
of has to do with the anyway I'm not gonna say that
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into shit that went
let's
on.
just
Like,
say
yeah, it's,
it had to do with a relationship that I had but
mm,
let's look at what messed it up but whatever
dang.
okay keep moving
Yeah, yeah. We won't get
nice
too deep
yeah we're
today.
not gonna go into detail about that but I'm just saying that was low what made it rough
Hmm.
uh but also made it great.
Yeah,
So like I'm thankful for that person. I'm thankful for everything that happened that year because definitely I feel like junior year was definitely one of those years that I seen had a lot of growth.
yeah, for sure.
Junior and senior year definitely. Some people definitely affected me and made me who I am
Hmm.
today and I learned from them. So I do appreciate that. But I mean, high school it was always like it was always fun. The thing about being in that high school that wasn't like too open to like
Hmm.
it was just like everybody knew each other, everybody was connected somehow.
Exactly.
It made the experience a lot differently because on the weekend we would go out with the homies, go to the parties, do stuff, and do all this other stuff, and it was cool. And then you would go, and everybody would kind of like know about it and
Mm-hmm.
then talk and shit. And
Yeah,
it was
that's
dope though.
fun. Yeah,
And definitely in our high school, like since we all knew each other, whenever we hanged out, it was pretty much like the whole class coming
yeah,
together to hang out for sure.
yeah.
I remember one of the is there any like fun experiences that you have from high school though, like you can remember? So
Definitely, I feel like the fun experiences that came with high school were just like, because for me, because I was literally just about to tie this into another question that I have to ask, which I'll tie into later.
yeah,
Um, I feel like there was a lot of events and stuff that I avoided going to, maybe because I was, shy, or because I was hesitant, or just I cared too much about what people would think about like certain
yeah,
things, or certain opportunities that I didn't take. But the biggest thing that I can say that came from high school in terms of like the good memories of the crazy shit that went on was just some of the friendships that built from that, because then those friendships led to like other events that we would go do, and it led to some of the best memories, I feel like,
yeah,
to keep. I just remember like really it was hard because going into my freshman year and all that stuff, it was like, all right, we came out the gates, learning what high school is really about, learning what we should do for high school, and then we got hit straight with online.
yeah,
And so in my case, a lot of my friends were able to go back their second half of their sophomore year, and I wasn't. So I spent my whole sophomore year online,
yeah,
basically isolated in the house, and I didn't really get to do much. So that was like a crucial year, I feel like. So going back into my junior year, it was like I was still built on that schedule of being timid, not really wanting to do much. So my biggest high school experiences really came from my senior year, and I feel like those built some of the best memories. I mean, I
yeah, for
went
sure.
to I went to prom, I went to homecoming, I got to do those things and have a good time with that. I got to experience like
Yeah, that's the
you
thing
know
too. I
the
never
events.
experienced a high school dance.
Yeah.
Like I actually like I never went to homecoming, like
Mm,
the actual homecoming, or I never went to prom. Like I didn't go to
mm,
prom.
yeah.
Like prom night, I think what we did was like, well, we organized. Well, people were organizing like after parties after
Yeah.
prom, like always,
Yeah,
obviously.
for
But the
sure.
thing is that I didn't go to the actual prom. I just went to like the after parties and
Yeah.
everything, which actually like, and I only did that for prom on my senior year because junior year I didn't
Mm,
do anything.
yeah, I feel that.
But no, it was definitely it was crazy. It was funny. I mean, speaking about prom, like that night was crazy, bro. Like
Yeah.
I think that I never got in like so fucked up in the night that night was actually insane. Like I think I
Bro.
didn't even make it home, bro. Like that's how bad it
Damn.
was. No prom, but prom night was it was funny. For the people that watch it, you know, if you guys remember that night, then it was a
Yeah.
crazy night for sure. But
No, I
I mean,
feel
for sure, some of my favorite memories came from senior year, especially the senior trip.
mm,
I did go on another trip for a club that I was in. We went to Six Flags, so that was fun.
yeah.
Obviously, senior trip was to Universal, so that was dope as fuck too.
Mm,
I went to this competition for one of the for the program that I was in my high school,
yeah.
and that was also fun. So definitely, there's a lot of experiences that I did, and my senior year that really made it a great year. Another thing I did was obviously with my homie David and my homie Marcelo. Shout out to them. They're gonna hop in the podcast one day
Oh
because we
yeah.
got crazy stories to tell
Let that out.
about our high school days, brother. But yeah, we definitely we got to the functions and shit. And we definitely had some crazy stories.
Mm. Yeah, no, that's dope. I mean, I met some really like dope and genuine people. I mean, even my girl that I'm with now,
Yeah,
like it's like, meeting them through my senior year of high school. I would say that the senior year of high school brought a lot of memories, good ones, and it brought a lot of learning lessons too.
yeah,
So that's why I feel like my senior year was probably like by far my best year in high school. And even, I mean, I didn't have a sophomore year really. And then
yeah,
even my junior year had a lot of shit that went on, and I don't want to get too deep into that
yeah. I
because
feel
it
you.
gets deep. But definitely after the junior year that I had, my senior year was like, it was very refreshing and almost like peaceful. So I enjoyed the experience with that. And then, like you said, I mean, I feel like the best experience with prom and the homecoming and all that stuff is not even necessarily the dance itself, but more like just who you surround yourself with those nights and like what you do too,
Yeah.
because that's what made those experiences really stand out a lot to me, because I never went to like the homecoming dances or the prom dances
Yeah.
throughout high school, and then going my senior year was like, okay, like,
Yeah.
and it was like we popped in and then we went and did our own thing, you know. It wasn't, we never stayed at the dance, you
For
know.
sure.
So it was dope, definitely. I feel like those are some of the best moments from high school, but also I had a lot of drawbacks. I mean, do you think that you had a moment in time where you wish that, like, if there was one thing that you could take out of high school that you wish you did, or you wish you did differently, like, do you know what it would be?
Fuck. That's a good question. In high school, I guess I don't know, man. I guess when it comes to relationships, I think I'm looking fucked up. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily like in a bad way. I think I was definitely learning.
Mm-hmm.
I was, but I also did some shit. Not necessarily that I regret. But there's definitely things that I should have done,
Mm-hmm.
or that I could have been more mature about it and acted more properly towards
Yeah.
and doing. But like I said, I also don't. It's not necessarily that I wish I did it different or regret it, but it's just like
Yeah.
there's definitely things I could have done better to not hurt people's feelings. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, it's like that also not necessarily that it's bad or like it justifies it, because like we're talking different sessions, like playing with people's hearts is fucked up. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like something that needs to happen. Whether because at the same time, like during high school, I was hurt
Mm-hmm.
and I've been hurt, and but this, at the same time, I hurt people.
Yeah. Like.
And that's just how like when it comes to relationships, that's really how it be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily that I regret it, but I'm also I definitely wish that I could have done things different with some people, just because I
Yeah.
feel like definitely I messed up some relationships that I wish I could have kept. But it is what it is, At the
Yeah.
same, like whatever I did, whatever mistakes I made, is what made me to the person that I am today.
Exactly.
So I'm also not necessarily like hanging on it, because if I made a mistake, I learn from it and I'll know how to be better
Yeah.
about it. So obviously, I think that's the only thing that I would really kind of go back and do different.
Mm.
Uh,
No, I feel you.
but that's about it, though. Honestly, I think all the mistakes that I made through high school and everything, all the good and the bad I've done, it has made me to the person that I am today,
Yeah.
and I love the person that I am today. So.
Yeah. No, I totally feel you with that. I'm a big like stander on, like, shit happens for a reason, things happen for a reason, and like sometimes you just have to go through that thing to help build your character and build you into who you are today. Certain instances, certain relationships and friendships, they build you into who you are today. But I definitely don't feel like I have any regrets about the time that I spent in high school or anything that I did in high school. But if I could go back and say there's one thing that, like, I'll say this as like a, I guess, piece of advice for people that are in high school. It's like taking it from somebody that was in high school not too long ago.
Yeah.
It took me to my senior year to realize, like, don't be afraid to take certain opportunities.
Yeah, definitely.
And I spent my whole like high school journey just kind of sitting on the outside, like, like, all right, well, people are gonna see me this way if I do this, or this might happen if I do this, and I'd spent a lot of time shying away from certain opportunities that could have, it could have went bad, could have went good, but it's like you have that thought of, oh, it could have been like this way, like you could have went and did something. Like, there was a lot of clubs that I missed out on, events that I missed out on, and just like things that I missed out on that would have helped build my character. You know, it could have made high school a little bit more of an enjoyable experience had I taken those opportunities. So I don't necessarily dwell on that or, you know, regret that, because I'm glad that, I still didn't let that ruin my high school experience.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of learning, and now, and like it built me into who I am today, and I'm happy with the person I am today.
Yeah. I mean, another thing that I think I would have changed is definitely not focus too much on work during high school.
Mm-hmm.
I think not that I regret it, because definitely me being able to work and having the job I had back in high school definitely allowed me to do a lot of things that I couldn't have done if I didn't have that job.
Yeah.
But also it did take a lot of my time away. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things that I wanted to do, I wasn't able to do it because I was so focused on work and doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Which, like, like I said, at the end of the day, it helped me out
Mm-hmm.
more. But definitely, I think that throughout high school, like now that if I wanted to do shit, now that I have more free time, and now obviously I still have work and I have other stuff to do.
Yeah.
But it's not as serious as it was before, and obviously technically better because I'm making more than what I was doing back then.
For sure.
So I kind of, I was doing good, but then I also put myself in a situation that didn't allow me to do a lot of things I actually wanted to do during high school. So not necessarily because I was afraid or anything, but it was just I just didn't have time for it. No, so definitely, I think that one thing I would have definitely done different is just not being as focused on work and I kind of just enjoy my high school years a little bit more. Definitely more over my college years because I feel like during high school, like that's really the time where you really got time to do whatever you want and not worry about it because at the end of the day, once you graduate, it's over and nobody really cares. So that's another thing too. A lot of people are really focused on the time of being in high school and, honestly, during 4 years is your world. Like whether you say it's now or you say, nah, I don't care, nah, blah, blah, blah. Like you do. Like even myself, I remember saying that, saying that I don't care what people say or this or that. But even if it's just in the back of your head, it's still there. Yeah. Like you still even if you are more open and you are more more acceptable of different experiences and trying different stuff. Even if you are like that, you still think about, oh, what is these people going to think about me? Oh, what are they going to say? Because, at the end of the day, that's just what high school is. Like, exactly. Everybody's going to be judging. Everybody's going to be talking about you. Everybody's going to be looking. And that's cool. Like, that's just what high school is. I was doing it and people were doing it to me. And that's just how it always will be. Yeah. So I'm not saying, like, don't really focus on it. But, like, speaking to honestly, like, if you do want to do something and, maybe you're, like, really overthinking it, like, yeah, like I said, people are gonna talk, people are gonna do this and that, but at the end of the day, like once you graduate, it'll be over. Exactly. And everything that you've done in your high school years, whether it was bad or good, like people will forget about it. Yeah. That as and then they'll more than likely people will always think about the good stuff that you did.
Yeah, and I think obviously everybody talks about like, oh shoot, like when you get out of high school, you're not gonna realize how much like you miss those days or like how much you miss the time there. But I feel like for me at least, and yeah, I've only been out of high school a year, but I think for me at least, I don't view high school as like, oh, I missed this time period of my life. Oh, like, growing up sucks, so I'm going to miss it. But it's like, I view that more as like, I remember it for the memories, and that helps me relive like, those experiences is by remembering those memories. And I feel like it doesn't mean that I don't miss high school, but, that time period definitely shaped a lot of who I am today, and I'm grateful for it. And so I'm able to relive that high school part of me through my memories rather than being like, oh, I wish I was back in high school, and it makes me eager to get to like the next part of my life too. Not to rush to it, but just eager to get to the next part of my life because it's going to bring new experiences. The same way that high school brought its own experiences,
Definitely. I totally agree with that. Like I said, sometimes I do miss it because I feel like high school was just a simple time where you would just go and you chill with your friends and shit and you go home and you do whatever you had to do. So there's definitely, some aspects of high school that you do miss, but I'm also not like wishing I could go back. It's like I miss it. It's cool. I wish I could, maybe have one day in there, but not necessarily to relive it all. Yeah. For sure. I definitely think that, it's a mix, but it's just something that, it will stay in your mind. You will miss it every now and then, but definitely, like you said, you got to be excited for what it's going to bring along because now we're in college. The experience that we're having now are totally different from what we're going to have. And now, like, it's so crazy because now you remember how, like, in middle school and high school, it was like, in middle school, it's like, oh, you remember, oh, guess who, like, when you would see a couple or the main drama was like, oh, guess who got in that relationship, whatever. And then now in high school, it's like, oh, guess who fucked or blah, blah, blah. And now in, like, this part of our time, what's coming, it's going to be like, oh, guess who got pregnant. That's what it's going to be the next thing, which is crazy. Though.
Yeah. No, it is crazy to think about it. Like, and think about just how far we've come. Like from those middle school days, those high school days too, and it's definitely crazy.
And then eventually it's gonna be like, oh, guess who got married? Yeah, guess who got divorced? Yeah, guess who fucking died?
Yeah, exactly. Like it just life really comes up on you really fast, bro. Yeah. And looking at high school is like that time. I look at high school. Obviously, I agree with you. There's certain moments like of how simpler it was, I guess, back then, and like the times where you don't realize, like, I think the biggest thing too is that a lot of people don't realize the good times while they're in it. Yeah. Because at least for me, I'm a victim of saying like, oh, like I'm ready to get out of high school. I can't wait to get out of high school.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I miss it, but like definitely I can say that I'm in that shoes. A lot of people that I know were in the shoes of like, I can't wait to get out of high school. Now they're like, oh, I miss high school.
Yeah, and I wasn't really like rushing it about it, but like you said, a lot of people really forget it, like to enjoy the moment because we talked about it in there, especially in our earlier episodes. We're like, you just gotta enjoy the moment, be grateful for everything that's happening right now because every moment, that's what it is. It's a moment. It's just happening right now, and then later on today, it's gonna be a different moment, and you just gotta be grateful for everything that kind of comes your way, and everything that happens.
Yeah.
So because like, there's always something joyful about it. So definitely, high school was definitely a cool experience. But
oh yeah, for sure.
maybe let's take a little bit less serious. Any crazy funny high school experiences you got, bro? Come on, you definitely gotta have something in the bag, bro. If anything, I got you, bro. I'll go first. I remember when I was like, this was senior year. This was actually earlier last year, like April 2023. So it's kind of recent. But I remember me, my homie Marcelo that I mentioned, and my homie, we threw a party. So I don't know if in all the high schools throughout the country they do it, but for example, like I know here in Nevada, like what they do is like senior sunset and senior sunrise. So at the beginning of the year, the senior sunrise, and senior sunrise is basically like what it sounds like. Everybody, the beginning of the year, the seniors are get together early as fuck before school starts, and then they go and take pictures, see the sunrise, and it's like the beginning of senior year, the beginning of the end, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, towards the end of the year, they do senior sunset, which is also symbolizing the end of the senior year, and basically, people fucking like go there, and basically the plan is after senior sunset, there's always like. It is a classic that after senior sunset you gotta like throw a party.
Yeah, you gotta go do something.
You gotta do some kind of function. So me and my homies, we decided to do that. We're like, fuck it, we gotta throw one, right? We gotta do a party. We gotta make it special.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because first, usually a function always starts late at night. You're talking more like 9:30, 10 p.m. That's usually when the real function starts. So we're like, you know what? People are gonna want to go after senior sunset right away. Maybe they'll go get some drinks, blah blah blah, do this and that. We'll give them time. We'll put it to start like at 8:30. A reasonable time. It's a little bit earlier, but it's definitely I think senior sunset ended around like 6:30 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, everybody. So we're like, that was the plan, to kind of start early, bro. Everybody showed up hell early to the function, bro. We're talking like 7 p.m., 7:30. Everyone was already at the function. Like by 8:30 the fucking party actually started, bro. Everybody was like, it was already packed, and it was so funny to me because I don't think like people in general don't go early to parties.
Yeah,
people always end up pulling up a little bit late.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly what we did. It like at 8:30. We're like, if we put it at 8:30, people are gonna show up at 9:30. It's gonna be late, right, bro? By 9, everybody was already gone. Everybody was already fucking faded as fuck.
Damn,
it was so fucking crazy, bro. Like that ass people were throwing up. There was people like you got packed to their point. Like it was crazy.
Yeah,
everybody's, all the homies from school were there. Some people that we never expected to see at a party were there. They were buzzing it down, on the dance floor. They were going crazy. But no, it was definitely a fun experience, and obviously, But we're like 11. Usually 11 is when like the function is at its peak. Bro, by 11, everybody was there because everybody was so fit so early, bro. That was like it was so funny to me because everybody got there so early, bro. It was so crazy. I've never seen that happen at a function ever, and I don't think I'll ever see it happen again.
Yeah, that's crazy. I never like had a crazy party story like that, and at least in my experience of high school. Definitely, I feel like a lot of my high school experiences that were crazy came with the embarrassing moments that I have like did shit.
Yeah,
like, especially when it came to like like my relationships with people.
Yeah,
and like friendships with people and shit like that. Because I definitely have my own fair share of corny stories.
No.
When it goes to that,
especially like embarrassing stories, but definitely in high school. Still talking about senior sunrise and senior sunset. And senior sunrise, I don't know if people see this, and I'm not about to embarrass myself, but look, that shit was funny as fuck, bro. Like, look, going back at it, bro, I dead ass clowned myself on there, but it was funny. So basically, there, people know I'm like a Raul Alejandro fan, and back then, like on not his previous album, but like two couple hours ago, he released this song called Dos Catorce, which is like a love song that he did for his ex, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. And then with this song came a really like in his shows, since he also dances, it came this really iconic like move that he does, where he kind of like, I don't know, he kind of like throws himself on the floor, and then he kind of, I will have to show you after. Mm-hmm. If we make a clip,
we can put a clip of it.
We're gonna clip of it. People will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that was kind of like the trend for a minute. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Senior Sunrise. I was like, that day was also crazy because Senior Sunrise, before we went to the actual school, because after Senior Sunrise you have to go to school and everything, like just to have to go through your normal day of school. Before Senior Sunrise, we met like at 3 a.m. to like drink. Damn. So we went to school hella faded. Everybody was faded as shit. And during that Senior Sunrise, we were like fucking, drinking, and we pull up, and everybody was like, we were having our own like little party thing at school. It was during the event and everything. Mm-hmm. So we're just having like everybody was kind of like on their own thing, but like my friends and the homies, we were like having our own moment. We were dancing, we were blasting music, and kind of basically having like a small little party at school. Mm-hmm. But I was like, hey, bro, watch this shit, because I was looking a little bit faded. I was like, bro, watch this shit. I'm about to pull out this move that he does. Yeah. Bro, I play the song, I do it, and I try to do it. Bro, I don't know what the fuck I did. I think I threw myself a little too hard, bro, but I did like a whole 360, bro. And basically, I landed on my head, bro.
That's tough,
bro. I was looking like that Fortnite emoji thing. Where he fucking break dances. That was me, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. We gonna have to put the clip too. So like,
I do have the clip. I'm gonna show you after, bro.
That's serious. If we make a clip of this, we got to throw that in there, bro. That's crazy.
Nah, that was my embarrassing high school experience for sure. It's funny. It's so funny because it came during my senior year when I was never expecting it to happen. But and that's the thing too. Like, it wasn't the first time that happened. I have another video of it that happened to me, but that was like before doing it, like just when we were the homies. Yeah. But yeah, bro, that day definitely, that shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah, I definitely had my fair share of embarrassing moments during high school, but like I feel like some of like the crazy moments were always in my elective classes. Like I always had gym, bro, and like my gym classes would be with some of the like coolest people, bro. Like it was a variety of everyone. You have the coolest people, and then you'd have like the people that like your friends would be over there clowning on, and they're like, who the fuck is this? Like, why are they in here, bro? Yeah, but I think one of my favorite things in high school was definitely having that gym and having the open gym. And then we would get a full court going of like basketball. We either do a full court basketball game or we do half courts. Yeah. And I remember one time, all right, I'm playing with, this was when I was in, I don't remember if this was, I think this was my junior year. Yeah. And we're going against, it was like me and some of my friends going against seniors.
No shit.
And we're over here, like the seniors are cooking, and we were playing this game where it's basically like King of the Court, where you get your team, if you score, you stay on the court, and then the next team pops on, right? So we played that every day in high school. And I remember one time I got my team, right? And meanwhile, my team was so trash. But my teams would be so trash. But I got this team, and like one time I got a team with like some actual like cool people. Like the other guy, he could shoot, and then my other friend, he was short as hell, but he was really fast, and he had hops like crazy. Shit. So he was like a hustler, and he was out rebounding like the tall ass people. So it was a good squad. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, nah. Like I used to be that person that was like, nah, I'm gonna guard the main, like the person who has the ball, the dribbler, the main guard, because I want it to be on some, like, even if I do get cooked by this person, at least I tried to guard him. Like, it's gonna make me better. Or I would always have like an ego, like, oh no, I can lock him up, bro. Like I see other people get killed, I can lock him up. Yeah. So the guy that I'm guarding, he hits a little fake to the right, and he drives to the goal, but I'm following him still, and he, like, literally in the rear view of my eye, bro, he throws up a lob to this other guy, and I jumped with him, and he missed the lob. But, like, he literally was about to poster my shit. And I fell onto the floor. Like, and the way that I fell, bro, it literally looked like I died. I folded, bro. That was probably the most embarrassing moment. Because it's in front of everybody. And they're like, oh. Like, I didn't even get dunked on, though, bro. Like it just. And then I'm just like, I can't even say nothing, bro.
Yeah, this is what happened to me, bro. I had shit like the fucking Fortnite motherfucker.
That's probably, like, Some of my craziest experiences probably came
It's
from
some of
being
the
in
moments that
gym.
keep you humble type shit.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah,
moments that keep you humble, you know.
yeah,
I think we all definitely have some
yeah,
memories that stuff that keeps us humble, bro. And I think nobody ever has like no embarrassing
yeah.
shit, bro. There's definitely stuff
Exactly.
that
Ninth grade was a different type of embarrassing though, especially when it came to
nah,
like
gym class. That's the thing too. I only had gym my freshman year. I was
mm-hmm,
supposed to have it my sophomore year, but obviously since COVID happened, I didn't have it.
yeah,
But that was so depressing because after that, I was never able to experience like a gym class ever again, which sucks, bro. Because I think that's one of the things that really like everybody enjoys from school, whether it
yeah,
was high school, middle school, elementary. Like most of the fun times were always in gym class,
yeah,
and not having it, like especially during high school when you were more competitive and stuff, definitely
mm-hmm,
does like hit.
yeah, for sure.
But I think definitely my favorite memories. The thing is too, like in my freshman year, I remember we were doing like tournaments for every
Mm-hmm.
sport. So we
Oh
had like we
yeah,
had like the whole gym class would get together. And the gym coach would like create teams, and we had
mm-hmm,
like our basketball tournament. And it was basically like he would make like table, and then it was like playoffs, and then
yeah,
that's how it would go. And then he did the same thing with soccer, with the same thing with and then we were doing it with hockey.
yeah.
And bro, we were looking cooking on hockey. But I'm not gonna
Damn.
lie, because the thing too is like on basketball, like everybody had their players.
Yeah,
Like there
exactly.
was this.
Everybody had their teams already set.
Everyone had their teams, and like some teams were better than others. And with
Mm-hmm.
soccer,
Yeah.
especially, so everybody knew which team was better than the other. But with hockey, like nobody fucking plays hockey
Yeah,
here
no.
in Vegas. Fucking when it doesn't fucking snow, bro.
Unless you play for the Golden Knights.
Yeah, bro. Like nobody fucking plays hockey, and it wasn't like obviously just not ice hockey. It's like hockey on fucking front. Yeah. So it wasn't even a puck. It was like a fucking ball, like a round little ball. So everybody's like fucking trying to figure out how to play this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely. I think that was definitely the most fun one because like nobody fucking had no idea how to play. So everybody was just kind of cooking. Like it was just like the games were fun. So, but that's the thing though. We're never able to finish it, bro. But we were lucky. Low key, my team that season was cooking. My team was like we were going undefeated.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like those were some of the best moments for us. The competitiveness that came from that, because in my junior year too, I had a lot of like I wouldn't say I had a lot of people that I didn't like, but I had this one kid that I really did not mess with, and then there was this one other kid that was like racist as fuck, bruh. So it was like we would go against them in certain games, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and act like they weren't like good. Like they were good, but it would be my favorite thing to like cook them, bruh. Especially when we play basketball. Like when we would be playing basketball, bruh, and like the racist kid, bruh. Every single time I'd get my team and I'd be ready, like so I could go against him, bruh. And then as soon as I go up against him, it's like I gotta try my hard because I'm not losing to this.
That's the thing too. I feel like definitely, especially guys are like highly competitive, especially if you're playing against someone that you don't fuck with at all. Bro, like you're like there's some kind of like core or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Comes out of you and makes you crazy, bro.
It's different. It's a whole different type of energy. Like
especially me too. Especially when it comes to soccer, when I'm like, for example, when I'm playing and someone's like fucking bugging me or something. Not necessarily that I don't like, but when someone gets in your, not necessarily like get in your head, but like they're playing rough or something, bro. Like it gets to me like too. I'll be pushing people. Like if I get to that point in the sport, I'll be like fucking body and everything. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I'm with you on that, bro. I had a lot of like it would make me want to target them like the whole game, bro. And I think that was the fun thing about the competitiveness that came with being in like the high school environment, and you're around a bunch of everybody's got their high ego. Everybody's so it was always like a composition, right? It was fire.
Yeah, definitely. No, but I mean, like I said, high school years were definitely goated. That's right. So
if you could give anybody a word of like message for like people that are just maybe they just started high school, maybe they're in high school getting ready to wrap up, like now that we're done with high school, if you could tell anybody like a message, what would you tell them?
Enjoy high school. Like do whatever you fucking want to do, honestly. Whether that is, if you want to lock in and be super like, like not necessarily like a nerd, but you want to lock in your studies and focus on school, and that's what you want to do. Don't fucking worry about it. Like if that's what you want to do it. If you want to focus on sport and do it as well. You want to hang out with people and be more open, be more social, do it. Like whatever you want to do in high school, that's your time to do it because there's no like not necessarily that people are not judging you, because like I said before, whether whether people say they don't care, or they do, like, people are always going to be judging, people's always going to be talking.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to accept it, and then
Yeah.
realize that it's not always going to be there, because as soon as you graduate, it's done.
Yeah.
As soon as you graduate, like, everybody's kind of on their own journey, everybody's focused on their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's really going to be paying much attention to you or remember anything that you did. So that's what I'm saying. If you yeah, I think the best way to go for high school is just do what you enjoy. Do whatever you think you want to do. Whether it's that your social, you want to make videos, if you want to fucking play sport, if you want to focus on your studies, like whatever you want to do it because you want to do it, and have fun, because at the end of the day, this is your time to really like go through shit, make mistakes, and not have to worry about it. Because if you make a mistake, or something embarrassing happens to you, or something maybe that you didn't want to do or whatever, like, this is your time to do it, because at the end of the day, once you graduate, it'll all be gone. It's not necessarily erased. Some people might, bro, but it's like people really don't care anymore.
Yeah, exactly, because you're gonna make hella mistakes, bro.
Yeah, and everybody does. Everybody has their embarrassing moments. Mm-hmm. Everybody has like their own things of what they do. So I think that's kind of what I did through, especially with my last 2 years of high school. It's like just realizing that it doesn't really fucking matter what you do, what you don't do. It's just enjoy it. And yeah, that's kind of how what I would tell people, like, just enjoy the time that you have in high school.
Yeah,
and just be chill, and everything should be fine.
Yeah, I think that would be one of the biggest messages that I would give out to, is that, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Throughout high school, I felt like I was a lot of worried about what people would say, or I felt like I had to put on a certain persona that wasn't me. Just in high school, that's probably the biggest time that you're going to figure out about the things that you like, or the things that you want to do, or and you don't have to have it all figured out, but you're going to start to learn all that stuff about yourself. And don't be afraid to, like, just stay true to what you are yourself. Don't be afraid to take those opportunities. I mean, I got a story where I remember, I was in gym class one day, and I remember this one kid had, like, he was like hella trash talking, hella ego trash talking to me about, like, we were being competitive in a basketball game, right? And after the game, he was still hella trash talking. He's like talking about my fit. He's talking about all this shit. He's like, "You trash, man. Like, your fit trash like this. Those shoes, they probably fake, right?" And I remember getting so heated, and I'm just like, "Nah, bruh. Like, I got these for like $450 on StockX, bruh. Like, I didn't get them for $450 on StockX, but it's just the need that I had to. I had to cap about it, because I had to feel some type of way. Like, I had to feel like I was cool because I paid $450 for some shoes on StockX. Yeah. And it's like we got into a heated argument or whatever, and it's like you realize after the fact that it's never that serious, that you have to put on a persona or somebody that you're not, or prove to anybody anything, really. Like, just go and do you, and stay true to yourself. Like, if somebody wants to sit here and be like, "Oh, your fit's trash, bro," but you fuck with your fit, you fuck with your fit. Somebody wants to say something about you, like, that's the time where hella egos are gonna clash, hella, like, different personas are gonna clash.
Yeah, and it's all part of the game, bro. That's how high school is. Like, people are always gonna be talking shit, whether people always, whether you just keep to yourself or not. People will always judge you. People will always say this and that.
Exactly.
Like, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't even matter. That's the point. It's not necessarily that people won't judge you. It's not necessarily that people won't talk shit about you. Just because the truth is, people will fucking say
even
shit.
Even outside of high school.
Yeah, people will talk shit. I've done it. People have done it to me. So people will talk shit. People will judge it. People will make assumptions. It's not about people not doing it. It's you're just realizing that it doesn't matter, because whatever you do, whether you keep to yourself, whether you don't, people are always gonna say something. So might as well just enjoy it, because you're never gonna satisfy everybody.
Exactly.
That's the truth. You're never gonna satisfy anybody, because you do something great, people are gonna be like, he low key, he got help. No. You do something bad, look, he's a fucking idiot. Like, it don't matter. People are always gonna be shit talking. People are always gonna be judging. So just let it fucking happen. Whatever they say, they're not gonna make it happy. Do whatever makes you happy.
Don't let that stop you. It's not to say that it's not gonna make you feel some type of way or anything, but, like, don't let that stop you from doing something that you enjoy, or doing something you fuck with. Just because people want to say something, because that, like, I guess that's the biggest lesson, honestly, that can come out of high school, is because when you get out into the real world, that's a reality every day. You're gonna always have people that look at you on the street, and they're gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this person?" People that want to say shit about you. I mean, we all, like, have done it,
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to say it's engraved into human nature, and I know people could be like, crazy and outlandish sometimes, but at the same time, you gotta do you. You gotta stay what's true to you. And
Yeah.
I think that's high school is the time to really put that into play, because once you get out into the real world, you take those principles with you from high school and those experiences and those memories that you didn't pass up on from high school. And I feel like that's the biggest like piece that I could give from high school.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, like I said, high school and middle school. So if you're in high school right now watching that, then just enjoy the moment. Just enjoy the time right now. Enjoy your year. Do whatever makes you happy. And if you're going through some situation, then fuck it, take it out. Like for real, like don't unless it's something like too crazy happening to you, then so you understand. But if it's if you're tripping about like relationship or maybe like a friend not talking to you or this other shit, like whatever, bro. At the end of the day, you're always gonna make sure you put yourself first, and that's how it should always be.
And life goes by like that, bruh.
Yeah. So for you to not, life goes like crazy. Like literally, COVID was what fucking 4 years ago already. So like for us to really think that we got time and all this, like we really don't. Time is gonna fly. So I rather enjoy my time and make sure everything, and that I'm happy.
Exactly.
Than be focused on little shit that at the end of the day, like couple months or hours or days or whatever, however long it is, it wouldn't even matter. So, that's how I really live. But before, how look, you want to say this is gonna be a little shorter episode, but I do have one last question for you. You wanna, if you had the chance to either relive your happiest memory or erase your like saddest or more like disappointing or your worst memory, which one would you pick? Relive your happiest memory or never experience your worst memory?
I feel like I would rather relive my happiest memory. Because to say that, okay, I never should have experienced my worst memory, there's so much, not only growth, but there's so much that would probably have come out of that worst memory, whether it was a lesson learned or anything that could have shaped me into the person. And if I take that out of the way, then it just takes out an opportunity for that growth, that knowledge, that just learning about it. And then I don't want to say that, okay, I wish this worst memory never ever happened, because I feel like it happened for a reason. I mean, to relive my happiest moment again, I feel like if I had a chance to relive that happiest moment again, it would definitely be for the nostalgic purposes, and it would be a sense of like, okay, like let's relive this one more time. But if I had to choose between reliving the happiest moment one more time and getting rid of my worst moment ever, I feel like I'm a relive the happiest moment, because getting rid of that worst moment could also play a big role into how the rest of that one little moment could play a big role into like how another moment goes. I feel like. Definitely. And so erasing that worst moment, I may have not had the happiest moment, or erase a worst moment, I may have not had the opportunity to grow and change from it. And I don't regret or have any like, oh dang, I wish this didn't happen.
Yeah,
it happened for a reason, and that's how I view that.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, I think I'm definitely in your boat. I would definitely much rather, relive my happiest memory, just like I was mentioning. If I forget my worst memory, then all those memories that that stuff that happened, like whether it was good or bad, it made me the person that I am today.
Yeah.
And like you said, everything happens for a reason. So definitely thinking about those memories of the happy memories, I would much rather relive those, because the worst ones, like they made me the person who I am today, and I personally love the person I am today.
Yeah.
And it's all about growth too. So obviously, if you forget them, like it's almost like a canon event,
Yeah, it's a canon event.
It's a canon event, bro. So you gotta think of that way,
Yeah, that's facts, bro. Yeah, and then honestly, like for me, I kind of agree with you like a lot on that, because it's like, take away my worst I guess event, you want to say, and that I feel like that just takes out a whole chunk of who I am today, who I've been made to, and I want to trade nothing for those worst events, because they ultimately have led up to me even having some of my happiest moments.
Yeah, so. And then luckily there's I would say that, at least for myself, like like my happy memories are more than the worst ones.
Yeah.
Like I do have worst memories. Like I have bad memories and
Yeah.
stuff that I wish I didn't happen,
Mm.
but not necessarily that I would forget. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I rather just enjoy my happy memory just because
I feel you.
those sad memories. Everybody goes through stuff. So
Yeah.
and honestly, I'm grateful for the fact that knowing that my worst memories are probably not that bad compared to other people. So
Yeah.
I'm always thankful for that.
Yeah.
So I think overall, I would much rather just relive my happiest memory
Yeah.
for sure.
And I think like yeah, I would do the same. Living my happiest memory again because it would give me another chance to just kind of like experience that maybe one more time,
Yeah, I mean, definitely
rather than
if
take
we're
it away.
talking about it, and you know, I mean, I don't know what. Like, if you sit me down right now and you tell me which is your worst memory, I don't know if
I
I
know
would
I
be able
forget.
to tell you
Yeah.
because like I said, like my worst memories are not that bad. But
And I don't even know if I would be able
yeah,
to think of like
of a
what's
bad
the
memory.
worst memory I
Yeah, but if
had.
you tell me like happy memory, I
Yeah,
would
I can
probably tell. I
remember.
could tell you a
Yeah,
couple ones. I for sure can tell you
exactly.
like you know, I could put like the first time I watched Avengers Endgame like on
Hmm.
the movie theaters. That's definitely like peak movie
Yeah,
theater experience.
going to
Um,
events for the first time.
yeah, going to that Bad Bunny
Yeah.
concert, it was definitely like that's probably one of the best concerts I've ever been to, if not the
Hmm.
best. Obviously going to see Dre, like all this stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely. I would much rather relive those memories. And
and get rid of the bad ones.
yeah,
Because the bad ones, once again, they all led up to you being in that moment now, where you have a lot of knowledge that you've learned from them, and
yeah,
then
big time.
it makes you into a different person that you might have been a different person had you not gone through those bad memories.
Yeah,
So yeah, I agree with that fully, and I think with us being out of high school now, if there's one thing you could say like drives your motivation now, being out of
yeah.
high school, being in college, going to work now, like what would you say is one thing that drives you to kind of like keep going, and to do better and like to push past those bad memories, those bad moments?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say, you know, I think we were talking about this on the Q&A episode, which if you just haven't watched it, you should go to watch it. 2 hours of gas. That shit was
Oh
actually
yeah,
gas. That shit was actually one
exactly.
of our
Yeah,
best sessions, I think. So
yeah,
if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. But for sure, I mean, you know, that day we were talking about it, and definitely just knowing that I don't want to be like a regular person. Like
mm-hmm.
when I look at myself in 10 years from now, 15 years from now, what I don't want to look back and be like, you know what, I was lazy. You know what,
Yeah,
I didn't do what I wanted to do. I wasn't happy with it, what I was doing. I want to look back and be, you know that I was like, you know what, I did travel. I did
yeah,
get to experience. I did get to buy a house. I did get to buy my car. I was able to accomplish everything that I said I was going to accomplish. I
yeah,
was able to work hard for something and get it done. That's what I wanted to look back. And not only that, but also like for my family, like the way I see it is like, like I mentioned before, like when I have kids, like what are they gonna see when they see their dad? Like are they gonna see like just a regular man, or are they gonna see like, especially like my son, like he's gonna see like, you know what, my dad is a good man. He works
mm-hmm.
hard. He knows what he's doing. He's smart. He's responsible. That I want to be like my dad when I grow up. If I
Yeah,
have a daughter, like what is she gonna? She has to look up at me like, like a man of respect, someone that I don't want her to be like one of those girls on TikTok later that like I got dad trauma type shit. Like no,
yeah,
like I want to be that person for my family. I want to provide for them. I want to make sure that they're safe.
mm-hmm.
My wife as well. I want to be like eventually, if I want, I'm going to get married,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I want to make sure that she feels protected, that she feels safe, and that she feels, proud of the decision that she made of being with me.
Yeah,
And obviously my mom. I want to make sure that she's well taken care of.
for
That
sure.
when she looks at me a couple of years later, her now she's like, you know what, I raised a good man, I raised a good person in this world,
Yeah,
and pretty much making sure that all the people around me, all my close friends, all my family, all the people that I really appreciate and care about, they're well taken care of.
yeah,
That's what really pushes me.
yeah. I agree with you, and just the sense of like being remembered for this, being remembered for like I don't want to be remembered as just I don't want to say a regular person, but like
Yeah,
I want to be remembered as
like
you know
when I say this, like I'm not asking to be seen like a superstar. I don't want to be
nah,
like a superstar or the fucking this famous ass person, the
yeah,
celebrity. Like, nah. What I want to do is when my family looks at me, when the people that I care about looks at me, like they'll be proud of the person
exactly,
I see, and they'll be happy with who I became.
exactly, and to avoid having that traumatic, the traumatic experiences for my kids, for my family, for my wife, all that. I want to be a good person so that when they look back and they can see my life and see their life with me, they see me as a good father and as
Yeah.
somebody that, or like a good husband or a good son, somebody that they can sit back and be proud of. I fully agree with
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the goal. Like, always, and same with myself. Like, I also want to look back at myself and be like, you know what, I was able to do everything that I wanted to do. I was never hold back. I
Exactly.
never talk shit and not do it. Like, whatever. Like, that's the thing too. Like, I feel like the best way to put it, what really gets me motivated, is like if I'm gonna set a goal, if I'm gonna say I'm gonna do something, I better fucking do it.
Exactly.
Because that's the one thing I could never accept
Yeah.
for myself. Like, whenever I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna get that shit done,
Mhm.
and that's why I want to work. Like, I live by that,
Yeah.
and living by the fact that you know that's the only thing I got really. Like, we material things like that don't matter. What I have is my word and
Yeah.
myself, and if I don't have that, then I'm nothing. So I want to make sure that whatever I say something, whenever I say I'm gonna accomplish something, I get it done,
Exactly.
and just be true to yourself. Honestly, making sure that you're a good person, because that's all it's about. We live in a society that it's so crazy. You know, we mentioned it so many times that everybody wants to do it for the social media. Everybody wants to
Hmm.
do it for the gram. And everybody's looking for uh, self gratification, and everybody's looking for acceptance of everybody. But
Exactly.
it's like, nah, dude, I want to do everything because I want.
To do.
I want to do it because that's what makes me happy. That's what's gonna make sure that my family stays healthy. That's what's gonna make sure that my family is safe and well taken care of. And I'm gonna get it done because that's what I want for my life and for their life.
Yeah, I think you said it best, bro. Like I don't even got too much to add on to that because I feel the exact same way, bro. And that's how I look at it when I look at my life or what drives me. Yeah, and then I think if I could leave like one message for anybody, like if you could leave one message for anybody that's still in high school, whether they're a freshman or they're towards the end of their high school journey, or whether they have already, gone on to their life after high school, what would do you think would be a message that you could give to them?
To just enjoy, you know, do whatever makes you happy. Do if you want to be focused on your studies and and making sure you go through high school with a good GPA and get good grades and go to a good college. If that's what you're focused on and that's what you want to do, go do it. If you want to be more social, be more social. If you want to be into a sport and focus on the sport, do a sport. Whatever you want to do it, because at the end of the day, here's the thing. People will say, "Nah, I don't care." People talking this and that. Like, no, at the end of the day, like, people will talk. People will judge. People will say
Yeah.
this. Will give their opinions out. People will talk shit. People will hype you up. Whatever it is, people are
Mm.
always going to be talking about you, whether whether you want to do it or not. And it doesn't matter what you do, whether you're just shy and preserved or whether you're out there. It doesn't matter what you do. People are always going to judge you and talk about you, and that's just the
Mm.
reality of it. Honestly, like, there's nothing that you can really you know, do to stop it, because I done it. I know people. It's just
Yeah.
almost like human nature to
Yeah.
to be judgmental, and it's just part of the ride. So I honestly just do what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, I think this is the time, especially in high school, that's the time where you really have the ability to make mistakes, to really
Exactly.
go through stuff and not really worry about it too much. Because trust me, like, us even 1 year after graduation, it hasn't even been that long. Like, we already, like, people move on quickly.
Yeah.
People start their journey as soon as you're graduating. Everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's on
Exactly.
their own way. Everybody's trying to figure out what they're gonna do for themselves, and they're trying to figure out what exactly they want for themselves. So so just do it. Whatever you want to do, just enjoy it. Don't be shy about it, and don't worry about what people are gonna say. Like, yes, like, it's easy to say it, and I understand that, because it's easy to say and it's harder to do, because I've been in that position and I was in that position not that long ago.
Yeah.
Because, and even if you say that you don't care what people say and this and that, like, still in the back of your head, like,
Hmm.
even if you don't think about it too much, still there. You're still a little bit of There's still a little bit of self awareness, I would say. So definitely just being able to understand that and accept that you just gotta do whatever makes you happy, because you're never gonna be able to please everybody.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to understand. You're never going to please absolutely everybody, whether that's your parents or your friends or this or that. Someone's always gonna be like, nah, bro, or
Yeah.
saying shit on
Someone's
you.
gonna
So
always have something to say.
so if by understanding that, if you know that always people are gonna be talking shit, might as well just do what makes you happy because it's all about you.
Yeah.
You know, it's at the end of the day, you gotta make sure that if you're gonna be here, you're gonna be worried about shit. Unless do shit that makes you happy and fuck what everybody else says.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And, earlier I mentioned, there was moments where I have fallen, into the trap of changing who I was or changing things that I did because of the group that I was around or because of what somebody could say. But then you don't live for yourself, you're living for other people.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things is that in high school, like you're gonna learn to live for yourself, not for other people. You're gonna learn all of these lessons and it's gonna shape you into the person you are. I think one of the other biggest things that I could leave you with as somebody who just came out of high school is, I guess, really, especially after you get towards the end of high school and, going on to your other life, like outside of high school, sometimes when you have that motivation or you have something that drives you too, it also takes a lot more of like the discipline because there's going to be so many other days that you don't have that motivation to go out and do this or like, in high school, I feel like sometimes, you know, and maybe that just comes with us being kids, we say, oh, we're going to go out and do this. We're going to go, no, I want to do this when I'm at this point, like you know, you ever heard of, that 3 a.m. motivation?
Yeah,
where like,
all of a sudden
that,
it kicks in. It's like I gotta fucking provide for my
yeah,
family. You start doing
exactly. And
push-ups in the
I'm a
middle of the night.
freaking sophomore in high school. Like, what am I? So like, I
Yeah.
definitely feel
Also,
like,
don't think that you have to. You know, don't fuck expectations. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
I look, he was
yeah.
fucking
No,
glitching
you
there.
good, you
I was
good.
glitching in there. Nah, but real shit. Watch Spider Man, and what's it called? No, fucking Spider Man
Yeah,
Across the Spider Verse. No, the other
yeah.
one
I'm gonna do
or
my
Into the
own
Spider
thing.
Verse. Yeah, fuck expectations. Don't worry about this. You're young. You guys are young. Like you're in high
Yeah,
school, bro. Even now, even if you're a freshman in college, even if you're a fucking almost graduating college, bro. Like we're young people. Like
yeah,
yes, our time is limited and time does go fast, but don't feel like you have to fucking be, fucking a billionaire.
exactly.
Uh, by the age of 20 or this or that. Like,
Nah,
don't, like, nah, bro. Do whatever makes you happy. Make sure that the people around you are safe. And as long as
exactly.
that's covered, that's like, you're chilling.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you don't need to be the next fucking, millionaire, fucking Jeff Bezos or anything. Yes, motivate yourself and try to
yeah,
become better. And if that's your goal, then so be it.
exactly.
But also don't think that that's what everybody's expecting of you.
Yeah, and don't and like especially out of high school, don't solely rely on that motivation. Because like sometimes it's gonna take having to discipline yourself. I mean, the biggest thing with going back to classes, like we mentioned earlier, is like when you have such a big break like that, going back and getting back into the routine of things. It's like, oh no, I could
Yeah,
just
there's
or
a
like
yeah.
yeah, even you might like one day I might have just one class, and it's like, oh,
Especially
I
in
can skip
college
that
too,
class.
because
Like
like every semester your schedule's gonna be different,
mm-hmm,
and not necessarily just on classes, but like the way it's arranged just throughout your
mm-hmm,
day. Maybe you have the first semester, for example, I was going to class like on Mondays and Wednesdays, but now
yeah,
I'm not even going to class at all because everything's online. So
exactly.
that's what basically what we're trying to say is just like don't really you know expect too much of the world's not expecting it to be great. Just do whatever makes you happy because
Mm.
and whatever your personal view of what makes you happy and what's great for you, then do that. That's really
Exactly.
what you gotta feel for because
Because you don't
you
gotta
don't
own
gotta
up
be a
to nobody.
millionaire.
You don't gotta live by nobody else's standards or
Yeah,
expectations, but your own.
live by your own. Whatever makes you happy. If you think having a good life is just chilling and
Mm.
having a place to and doing this and that, like do it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. If you think you're having a great life, is becoming a millionaire, then become a millionaire. But don't think that everybody's expecting you to be this great person, this next big generational thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
nah, bro, just do whatever makes you happy.
You
That's
know.
honestly what you should be doing.
Yeah. Whether it's people just randoms or friends or even sometimes your family that's putting that pressure on you or they're trying to motivate you to do something you're not. You know what you want to do for yourself.
Yeah,
Like, and even if you don't know what you want to do for yourself, you have time to figure that out for yourself, and you should figure that out in yourself by doing the things that you like to do, not just the things that people around you want you to do.
absolutely. Yeah, no, and that's definitely how it be.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said earlier, we're gonna keep this session a little bit short.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I mean anything you want to leave before we dip?
No, I think I left my
Yeah.
good message. You know, just take high school with a. I don't want to say take it with a grain of salt because that's not what you should do, but definitely take it with a anticipation of like, you know, all these things
This is your
could
time.
happen. Yeah,
You're not necessarily at your peak, but it's literally it's a time. It's a period of time where you
yeah,
are able to make mistakes and do whatever you mind. Think about it like kind of like a whiteboard. You
yeah,
just write shit down, and then at the end of the day, it's gonna all be
yeah.
erased.
And it's your time to paint, you know,
Yeah.
your own story and
Paint
figure
your own
out
story, write your own
your
story, and
thing.
then whatever you want to do, yeah, it's gonna shape you. Definitely, there's gonna be stuff
Exactly.
that's gonna be, that's gonna stick with you forever. But just do whatever makes you happy and
Yeah,
whatever works out for you and whatever it's gonna make sure that that you're safe and good and everybody around you is good. Then
for sure.
just chilling. I mean, enjoy it, enjoy the moment, and going to college just and whatever you want to do after high school, then do it, get it done.
Yeah,
And if you're in college, you're kind of you're gonna relate to our experiences for sure.
of course.
So just talking about it here. But thank you all so much for sticking all the way to the end.
Yeah,
If you made it
if you
this
made it
far,
this far.
we appreciate you guys. Definitely, you know, we definitely got stuff more coming up this year. We're still keeping us chill with the sessions. So I'll just leave this as our 11th session. So we're gonna see what we do next session. Is probably something different, not just a little chill session like that we've been having. We just wanted to make sure we get used to the new studio and everything so far, but we'll definitely see it something different
But yeah,
next
for
session.
sure. And, you
We'll
know,
definitely got stuff planned out
we'll
for
try
you
to
guys.
get a guest in here, you know, eventually as well. And, you know, we got things coming. So, and if you have any thoughts or ideas, right, like, you know, leave them down below. Things you would want to see on the podcast.
Yeah,
Maybe questions that you would want to see answered on the podcast. And
yeah,
if
definitely,
you watch the end, we appreciate that. And,
absolutely,
you
bro.
know,
No, yeah, we're thankful for everybody for watching and sticking in all the
yeah,
way to the end. For the people that started, on the journey since we started, since before we even released our episodes or anything. Like we appreciate every single one of you
oh, yeah,
guys. And none of if you're in high school, let us know. Like talk about your experiences down in the
oh, yeah,
comments. If you're in college and you want to talk about some of your experiences in high school, let us know. Put it down in the comments. We're always open to comments and questions and stories from any kind. So
yep.
we appreciate you guys for sure. And
Oh, yeah.
this is Motion Mixtape.
Yeah, Motion Mixtape, and we out.
We out.